This video is protected under fair use law.
The concept of our worldview is founded on the answer we define for one question.
That one question, what is religion?
Proving a negative, destroying the God of the Gaps argument. Their positive claim: my God exists. My negative claim: I don't believe your God exists. My goal with this video, to show you how I can prove a negative argument when it comes to certain religious claims.
Wait a second, proving a negative? That cannot be done.
So what could I possibly mean here? I know I can't directly prove a negative statement. However, by removing the validity to the foundation of the positive claim, it will collapse into meaninglessness. This can be done indirectly. False dichotomy? No, this doesn't apply. I am offering no alternative, nor implying anything of the sort. What do I mean? Quite simply, an analytical examination of the implications from the simple positive claim of God. Let's examine this concept with an example first, and then get into the specifics.
The God of the Gaps argument example, worm in the apple. Thanks to Squawkerd for helping me develop this idea. Objects, the apple. The apple represents our reality, world, dimension, etc. Objects, the worm. The worm represents the God claim. The being itself, its asserted influence and stories representing the religion. Symbolism, looking at the apple, taking a bite, cutting the apple. These actions will represent the scientific, or observation-based, method of examination and exploration to validate the claim.
Okay, so for the example, someone says a worm, God, is in the apple, world, reality. I say, I don't believe that. What are we going to do? First step, look at the skin of the apple to look for wormholes or other signs that might give us a clue. Stop and think. A small hole in the apple skin at this point is inconclusive towards either answer, but it might give evidence to one possibility over the other. Stop and think. An obvious exterior breach is not necessary for there to be a worm, apple maggot flies, as it may actually be born inside. Holes in the skin of the apple could have been caused by something else entirely. Either finding a wormhole or not is, at this time, inconclusive. So, take a bite, slice off a piece. Look at what is left of the apple and then look at the piece you just took. Did you find half of a live or dead worm? Congratulations, you found your proof, the worm. No worm parts in either piece? Okay, was there a worm tunnel in either piece? Still inconclusive for many reasons. 1. What if the worm never passed through the region we examined? 2. Lots of the apple is left, the worm must surely be there.
To solve for reason 1, taking the chunk from the apple, dissect it to the best of your abilities looking for any sign of that worm. The proponents of the worm may still insist the worm is actually in that piece removed from the apple, and if they still insist it after it has been otherwise demonstrated, the burden of proof is completely on the proponents. To solve for reason 2, take another piece from the apple and examine both the new piece and apple again. Now, let's say we no longer have an apple, but a large array of apple slices, various scientific fields maybe. As each apple piece is dissected and examined, you must keep in mind the central implied condition to this example: the worm is an object with known features and attributes. It has three-dimensional units of measurements, behaviors, anatomical parts, it will leave signs of its passing, etc. All you have to do is know what you are looking for before you analyze the apple pieces for traces of a worm. If you aren't sure how to define the worm, you should ask the worm proponent to define exactly what they are.
Let's say we slice every piece of the apple into pieces smaller than any worm can be. If there is no sign of the worm at that point, there is no worm and the claim has been invalidated. Either that, or this magical worm is defying every limitation that we currently understand and know actually apply to such things, and the fabric of reality is about to be turned on its head. I'm so totally sure that's the right answer. End sarcasm. People will argue on this topic, saying, you don't fully understand, blah, 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 implying that you cannot find their worm no matter how small the pieces are broken down.
This is intellectually dishonest because of one thing: the worm is a known entity with known attributes, just like their God has predefined attributes and qualities. If someone wants to define an attribute of their God as metaphor, there must be validation behind that reason beyond a complication for their faith. This is the essence behind the God of the Gaps fallacy. No matter how many pieces of the apple are taken apart, and no matter how finely they are dissected and examined, the worm proponent will continue to insist there is indeed a worm. At some point, this simply becomes absurd.
Absence of evidence is not evidence of absence. However, if the examination invalidates the claims being made, that is, 6,000-year-old planet, power of prayer, divine intervention of any kind, the firmament, Noah's Ark, etc., the positive claim stands on a crumbling foundation. By destroying the foundation of the positive claim, it will collapse. This is why the "can't prove a negative" statement doesn't exactly apply to certain religious claims. In the face of being invalidated, just because, or "I have faith anyway," does not fix the broken foundation.